I had a lot of bad experiences with other gyms, so I was looking for a place that I could lift weights, that I would have a coach. So I really just wanted that community.
We started working out together before he got into CrossFit. So he was working at Powerhouse, doing God knows what there. And then he turned his garage into this basically, but less. It was like, hey, do these crazy ass workouts. And yeah, so I did.
Yeah, so then Jeff, shortly after he started working at CrossFit Little Rock, he came to me with a business plan and said, hey, I have a vision to start West Little Rock CrossFit. And he had a very well thought out plan. He laid out his needs, the dollar amount of money that he needed, equipment, etc., and how he thought he could grow the business. And my past life, I was a banker, and I knew he probably couldn't go to the bank and get a loan for that. And so he kind of pitched me on being his partner and putting the money up to get started. So that's kind of how West Little Rock CrossFit was birthed.
I'm from Little Rock, but I was living in Colorado before I moved back. And that's when I got into CrossFit and started kind of changing my lifestyle and getting into more fitness. And whenever I was going to be moving here, then my coach there had just joined the Two Brain that we're involved in, and randomly had just been to a conference, I think it was in Chicago, and was just randomly partnered with Jeff. And so my coach there was like, I don't know if you know anyone in Little Rock, but you need to go see Jeff Juka.
I failed a diagnostic PT test by 8 seconds, the run. Got home, Googled CrossFit gyms because I had done some CrossFit in college and knew the intensity, aspect of it. And this was the closest one to my house, so I walked in and met Jeff, and that's how it happened. Because I never worked out in a CrossFit gym, and I don't even think I knew what the culture and kind of the external perception or vibe is as far as like a bunch of shirtless folks running around, yanking on the bar, screaming and stuff. But no, I think Jeff was the first person I met, and I interrupted a workout, so I kind of felt awkward because he's over there doing something. I think he was crying a little bit.
I actually joined West Little Rock CrossFit when I was kind of at the height of my previous career, and then ended up losing everything. And West Little Rock CrossFit didn't care. No one really made me feel like an outsider, even though now my family was struggling financially. Jeff did everything he could to make sure I could still come to the gym, which was awesome. Ended up giving me a job. I just reached out, was like, hey Jeff, I'll do anything. I'll clean the floors. And he was like, why don't I bring you on and you run our retail and run our social media.
CrossFit boxes in and of themselves are not that profitable, and it's tough to survive as a business, but yet that's the thing that I'm so proud of Jeff for, is that he's figured out how to make a relatively small box a business, a community, and not only has it survived, but it's thrived over the last 10 years.
I've never been a part of a community that has felt like this before. And I think I told you this at the beginning, I didn't know the gyms like this existed. When I came in the door, you said my name, I hadn't even met you yet, and you said my name and introduced yourself, and as soon as I walked in on my very first class, JD was coaching and introduced me to everybody, and everybody said hi.
I think it's a really unique gym in the sense that we have members who have been here 10 years, right, for our anniversary, and we have members who started yesterday, and they still get along and act like they've known each other for those full 10 years. And the staff, even though it's changed its dynamic over the years, and we've had new coaches and coaches come and go, we have a group of people who are family. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's got the coach's shirt on the coach on the back of their shirt, or if you're a brand new member, or if you're a veteran member here. Everyone respects everyone, and everyone's here to get better.
Being queer and coming here, I was nervous. I've never been somewhere that I could just be super open about that. Everybody asked me about my partner all the time, and that was just something I'd never experienced before. Just feeling welcomed.
We're blessed with a great atmosphere and a great facility that's huge and very well stocked with everything that we need to be successful. But really my favorite thing is the community and the friends that you meet, and just that are all kind of walking your same life and have kind of the same values as you, and you can kind of go on the journey together.
He got me drugs one time. I mean, the community, like the jokes and stuff on the Facebook group, and people will call me names and stuff, so it's fun.
Jeff sent me an Instagram message. He slid in the DMs and said, on a scale of 1 to, do you want to have coffee? How happy are you in your job? At the time, I was managing an Orange Theory, and so I said I'm free tomorrow at 9 a.m.
So the way it kind of works with me and him is he'll be like, hey, I got this new idea, let's go do it. And I'm like, cool, whatever, I don't care. And so that was a bad decision that I made, to just go along with whatever Jeff said. And yeah, so we ran around the neighborhood and I ended up puking in Tommy's front yard. And there's a picture of it, it's fantastic, of Jeff doing this and me like just dying in the background.
But there are videos on social media of us using trucks, that brown truck, to tear sections of the building down inside this building.
Why did we build it so good?
And we were delirious at the end, but it was one of the most funny and entertaining events. Find the video, it's pretty entertaining.
I remember one time we were in his garage, I'm doing this workout and I'm dying, doing burpees, doing pull-ups, doing all the crap. And he's like, all right, I'll be right back. And he goes inside and he comes back out with a plate of nachos and he just sat there and is eating them while I'm working out. And, you know, I can smell the nachos and it smelled so good, but, you know.
Jeff bought this desk from someone at the outlet mall, and he calls up myself and Coach Chris, Coach JD, Coach Destiny, and I want to say a couple other people, and he's like, hey, can you come help me just pick this desk up? We're going to throw it in the back of a trailer, and then we'll bring it back, set it up. Should take no more than an hour. We show up, and this thing is massive. It has not been disassembled. It's huge. It weighs a ton, and Destiny's like super pregnant at this time, so she can't help. And we start carrying this, and the whole time Jeff's just telling jokes to the guys who are like there, who are disassembling it. So Jeff's not really helping us lift anything. It was a ton of fun though. A lot of jokes were made, and it's definitely something that I'll never forget.
Where does the saying ducks fly together come from?
Me. The saying ducks fly together came from me. One of my favorite movies is The Mighty Ducks, and I don't know how it got started. I think I was just doing something silly, and like everybody was standing around and I put our hands in and started chanting quack. And usually if I do something silly, then Jeff's right on board, and so he put his hand in and we all started saying quack, and I just started doing that from time to time. And yeah, I talked to Jeff later just about how ducks fly together is one of my personal mantras, and finding other people that not only can support me, but vice versa, that I can support and you get just as much value of supporting them as they do you.
What's this?
Oh, yeah, I do know. I think I do. I have my perception of that. Nate, that was Nate's response to Jeff one day. Yeah, I think it was Jeff. He said, all right, guys, you can either hit the rower or do the bike. And Nate said, Jeff, eat shit. So I think that's where it came from.
I think that I lost a lot of faith in the fitness industry. So coming here and working here has definitely, it's like, oh, places like this do exist. Like, I really am in a place where I'm making a difference. So it's definitely given me faith in the fitness industry again.
When I finally decided it was time to move home, I had certain things in my head, certain groups of people I was gonna see, reconnect with old friends, because I have a lot of friends here. And it's probably the most surprising thing of my big move home was that really my group of friends is now the gym, and I didn't know anybody here before moving home. And on top of that, right after I decided to move home, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and that was really an okay process. She's been in remission for a couple of years now, but just having people that I didn't know prior just come around me and lift me up and bring food to my mom and just kind of get us through that, just in creating lifelong friendships that I wasn't anticipating at all. Also, another main reason why West Little Rock CrossFit has had such a huge impact on my life is I met the love of my life here. Shout out to Bill Kinney. Mwah.
It has really made a positive impact in not only me as a person, but my financial structure for my family. And it's really helped my wife open up too. She's super introverted. She really does not come to big functions and stuff. And now she's coming to CrossFit 2 times a week. She goes to our like community parties and community get-togethers, and some of her best friends she's met here.
This place was my kind of unofficial therapy for knees and ankles and a bunch of like army injuries, and that I thought were, whew. You know, a couple years prior, I thought my physical, active career lifestyle was pretty much done. This proved me wrong.
I'd say seeing other people happy. Yeah, like working out's something a lot of people don't look forward to, and I think we, as a team, everyone's found a way to make it fun. So that's pretty cool. I like the laughs.
Who is the most obnoxious member, and why is this hair coming?
Well, actually, it's Sarah Cumming because she is the way she is. I blame the parents.
How many poops do you estimate have happened in the gym in the last 10 years?
Proofs?
Poops.
Poops. Oh man, if we removed Chad Cumming out of this gym, it'd be a lot less, I'll tell you that.
Who inspires you and why?
God, you guys. Absolutely.
Nice. What's been the biggest surprise over the past 10 years?
God, making it 10 years?
What is the biggest lesson learned over the last 10 years?
It's way more simple than everyone makes it sound. It's just not easy. There's a difference, but it's way more simple. There's this movie, there's this boxer, and he gets this head injury or this neck injury, and they hook him up and say you'll never box again, and he comes back and becomes a world champion. And he's in an interview, and the girl's yada yada, and he's like, they tell a lot of lies in boxing. It doesn't look like, it's not what you think it looks like. And she's like, what's the biggest lie? And he goes, it's not that simple. And she's like, what's not that simple? And he's like, no, that's the lie, is that it's not that simple. It's just not easy. So yeah, it's always more simple.
Looking back after 10 years, would you tell 2012 Jeff to start the gym or do something else?
Start the gym. 100%. And it's disgustingly difficult and painful. I would go back, right? I'd do it all over again. Half of a heartbeat.
Question. What advice would you give any person thinking about becoming an entrepreneur and starting his own company?
Don't underestimate yourself. Don't underestimate the parts of you that you don't know about yet, and that you're only going to find and reveal when the time comes where you have to. So yeah, don't underestimate who you could become. And God, so many of you guys are, I wish I had better words for it, but so many people don't know how much power they really have. And you and Matt and JD and Destiny and all the staff and all the members included, I see so many of you guys, and I wish I could just tell you every day and hype you up and be better at it. But you can make your life, and just like I can make my gym, kind of this Garden of Eden for yourself. And you do have the power to do that. You might not think it, but you do. And so you're incredibly powerful. They do this to elephants in the circus. They tie a little rope on them and this tiny little stake, and the elephant could tear down a building with zero effort, but it won't pull on that rope, and that's just held there. It just thinks that it's stuck. And they do that to it when it's a baby elephant, and they put this big rope and this giant stake, and the elephant just tugs and tugs and tries its hardest, and it just learns really young you can't do anything. And so it's conditioned from when it's a baby. That's how they get them. And then you have this big giant beast that thinks it's not powerful. But like so many of like you and other entrepreneurs and anyone, like just remember you've got some conditioning and like you're way more powerful than you think you are. So don't underestimate yourself.
Start sooner.
Just have fun. I mean, like it's a sport, but also, you know, it's just there for fun.
Realize that you're going to make some lifelong connections here that you would never do if you just said, maybe I'm not ready for this style of exercise.
Just show up, because even when you don't feel like it, you get something from showing up and, you know, I'm just going to go 50% today because I feel like shit. Being present in this community of people who just give you a hug, you know, makes you feel better.